Hello. So we're at half time in the Wrexham Morecambe game. 1-1. Fair.
Should be more to us, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. We're both full of cold, so we do apologise. You won't
Yeah.
catch anything, don't worry. It's not how YouTube works. But yeah, very much a half of two halves or half of two quarters. How does that work? But,
At the start, we looked good. And then we sort of obviously, Morecambe scored.
What, for the first 2 minutes? I think
for
Mark
the first...
Griffiths made a comment, actually. He goes, we've started really well. I think we were 62 seconds in at the time. Look, it was a disastrous start, I think, really. We were three minutes in.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the Stockport score. It's 0-0.
It's, disastrous start. I mean, that's the third game recent-ish, that we've conceded early on away from home. I think back to Forest Green, that was 3 minutes. Today was 4 minutes. Salford was 5-6 minutes. We went 1-0 down there. So it's definitely something that we need to have a look at. I mean, away from home, we need to be a bit more switched on. I'd say early on in games, and for whatever reason, we're not. We're conceding goals too early on. Look, after that, they looked like they were really.
Sorry, I'm just reading the.
They looked like they were pressing us, and they looked like they had their tails up.
I think as soon as we scored, though.
Well, yeah,
I
think we needed to get something in that first half.
Definitely.
Mullin, some great work down the left-hand side.
Beautiful goal by McLean.
Yeah, good finish. I thought he'd skied it. I'm going to be honest, for a second, I thought, what has he done here? But no, it was a really good finish.
It's beautiful.
Really happy to be 1-1. As Sian said, maybe we could have got a little bit more from that first half, but not greedy.
No.
I think, after the start that we had, I think I'd be interested to know, was it an Okonkwo mistake, their goal, do we think? Or, did O'Connell just sort of get in the way a little bit, and maybe he should have just let Okonkwo deal with that? I'm not sure really. I'd be interested to see what everybody says.
There's a comment from Peter Langenecker. Since you couldn't see it, their mascot is a cat. How is it not a shrimp? That's a very good question. Why is it a cat?
It is a good question.
Morecambe cat. Is there a famous cat in Morecambe?
I know the answer to this. And
I think there is, isn't there? There's something about the cat.
I can't remember because I don't know, Peter.
We'll have to Google that.
I'll come back to you full time.
Chaz Llewellyn, the ref was driving me mad. Then he started to watch the match. Do you know what? Actually, I think the ref's been quite kind to us. He's not given yellows probably when he should have.
I think McLean needs to be a little bit careful. He seems quite amped up. And I think his celebration sort of said it all, really. He loves taunting the fans.
Did he go and celebrate in front of the Morecambe fans?
Yeah, he just sort of folded his arms and stood in front of them. At
least he didn't put his fingers to his lips like he does sometimes.
No, but I like that. I like it when he does that. So,
I love McLean.
Koatar, the ref, is a noob head.
Are you just trying to be nice there, Koa, or are you actually? Because obviously I know a noob because obviously Alfie says it quite a lot. A noob is somebody who is a beginner.
I think I know what she's trying to say.
Well, yeah.
Cats like shrimp, maybe. Charles said, yeah.
Where was Arthur going for a walk?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It just seems he seems to make
he loves to go for walks, doesn't
odd
he?
decisions sometimes. It does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it worries me too much. I think he's definitely does enough to sort of negate any mistakes he made. But I wouldn't want him. We've got some big games coming up. You don't want him making big mistakes in big games, do you? They're all big games.
I was going to say, I suppose that you could say this is a big game because they're obviously fighting for the playoffs, aren't they?
Yeah. Ben said the first goal was a huge mess, but really stoked to see the boys pull their heads in and put pressure back on Morecambe. Yeah.
I think the second half is just going to be even more aggressive. more pressure. I just think, I think the second half we'll see a few more goals. Hopefully 2 more goals, because then I'll win the prediction.
Yeah, just one will do. One will do for me. I like that we're being. This is Chaz. I like that we're being aggressive even when we don't have the ball. Yeah, I think we need. Like I was saying, we need that goal. I think we definitely needed that goal to give us something to sort of push on from, and I think we have. The only thing that always worries me about Wrexham is that we seem to. We get a goal and we push on and we look good, and I'm happy to be 1-1 at half time. At the same time, I do always worry that we don't make our pressure count away from home sometimes, and sometimes that can come back and bite us a little bit. I hope this isn't one of them occasions, obviously, but I would like to. It would have been nice to have something to show for the sort of added pressure that we had.
Yeah. Phil has said penalty or not. I thought it was, and Chaz Llewellyn, penalty for sure. Chaz said the camera angle is crap. So hard to really tell who is at fault in that mess.
Yeah. Was it a penalty or not? Sham was definitely penalty. I thought, yes, it probably was a penalty. But I always like to play devil's advocate a little bit. I think, probably a penalty, but I don't know if I'm being a little bit biased. I don't know. It wasn't the most clear cut I've ever seen. Let's put it like that. Penalty, but at the same time, I think it probably was. But I can sort of understand why it wasn't given as well. But I'm leaning more towards penalty than not. Yeah.
2 beards. I think we've got this. I think we do.
I think we do as well. I'm not the most positive away from home, as everyone well knows. But I do think so. I think we're looking good at the moment. I wouldn't like to come out of this with a 1-1. I think we can definitely push on. I think if we play the way we did in the second half of the first half, I think we've got enough about us to get a second and take the 3 points from this one.
Peter Langenecker, yes, a keeper that concedes on the near post is to blame.
Okay.
Chaz agrees with 2 beards. Ben Pug's talking about McLean and his yellow cards. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
McLean still needs to get through this game and the next without getting another yellow. We were talking about this, whether or not the threshold has...
Yeah, I was a little confused by the threshold. I thought somebody listening might be able to clarify this for me. I thought the threshold was 32 games.
Chris Wilms has retracted another message.
Has he? Of course he has. I thought that the threshold was 32, was game week 32, which has been and passed. So that would mean we're on game week up to game week 15 now, but. 15 up to game week 39. So someone could clarify that for me. That would be lovely, because I thought the threshold for 10 yellow cards had already passed, but I might be wrong. I think I am wrong, but anyway. Peter said, I think it was no penalty. Ref had a good half, in my opinion.
I think he did, to be fair. Maybe, a couple of mistakes, but I think overall he had a good half. Can I have some of your froth?
You can have some of my froth anytime. 2 beards, Wrexham. I'm putting money on Morecambe going down to 10 men. And they said we have them rattled. Yeah, I agree with that. I've seen.
I thought they were going to go down to 10 men in the first half, if I'm honest.
Diving in a few times, and it's some really dodgy looking tackles, to be honest. Chris Wilms, Mullin looking more like Mullin.
Yeah.
He's been a terror out there. Yeah, Eagleman and Soccer agree with 2 beards prediction. Morecambe. Oh, right, I think that's auto-corrected. It says Morecambe. I think that means Morecambe. Morecambe, step behind our boys. Yeah. Sorry about auto-text, America's never heard of Morecambe, Ruby Slippers, hoping for same level of energy
100%.
second half.
100%. What I meant was the stuff that's on top of Alfie's Guinness. God, I hope he's not drinking Guinness. On Ryan's Guinness, when I was little, I'll tell you a little story. When I was little, my grandma used to drink. Shut up! This is endearing. When my grandma was around, and I was little, me and my brother she used to drink one Guinness every single night, and we used to get a spoon and scoop out the froth because it's full of iron.
Have you noticed people watching's just tumbling as Sian talks crap about her childhood? Jake has said, spread that froth around. Of course, it is for all of you. Ryan. Oh, sorry.
Ryan.
You've written a message in Arabic. Unfortunately, I don't know what that says. So,
could you translate it for us?
Yes, but
that'd
hello.
Be fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you, Ruby Slippers.
Yeah.
It is endearing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chaz has said story time with an exclamation mark. I reckon that means story time.
The most beautiful story I've heard yet today. Thanks, Chaz. I really appreciate that.
Look.
I do get the hint of sarcasm in your voice, but thank you all the same.
Peter, talking about Guinness, do I have to bring something green next week? Oh,
it's yes. It's
St. Patrick's.
The day after. No, because we're in Wales.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, Peter. I wouldn't worry too much.
Don't worry about it. Ryan likes a Guinness, but we don't celebrate St. Patrick's Day
No,
here.
we don't.
Well, some people do.
I've got an Irish name, but that's about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Chris has said, any injury updates, Tom O'Connor or Evans?
Yes.
Tom O'Connor, definitely. He has...
George Evans is back on the grass as well at the moment.
Back on the grass.
Tom
O'Connor's back in training this week, Chris. Sian put him in her predicted lineup for today.
I was so hopeful.
I didn't think that would be the case. I think he trained half of the week, Tom O'Connor. Evans is back in training, but more so towards the end of the week.
Yeah.
Evans maybe another week or two. Tom O'Connor potentially available for next Saturday. Might be a little bit of a surprise that he's available.
Maybe he'll come on for a few
for Tuesday, maybe, but I think
minutes or something,
we're more looking at next Saturday. George Evans maybe a little bit longer. See how he goes.
Talking of lineup predictions, at the beginning of the week I did my lineup and I was like, right. So in the back three I had Cleworth, Boyle, and O'Connell, and then I saw this about Tom O'Connor kind of getting back into training. And I thought, you know what? So I changed it at the last... All my other players were exactly the same as they are playing today, except I swapped Boyle out for O'Connor, and I was gutted because I would have got 100%.
100%. It's not a test.
Well, it is for me.
Yeah. Look, guys. Chris has just said one more thing. You put neither into the starting 11. George Evans straight in for me as soon as he's fit.
You haven't read Jake's message.
Oh, Jake said, I'm all for story time with Sian. Make it a thing.
I'll start my own YouTube channel. Yeah.
Am I putting neither into our starting 11? I think George Evans comes straight back in for me.
Yeah.
I think we've struggled a little bit in the middle. I do like McLean in the middle, I have to admit. Although I don't like him as much as I like George Evans in the middle.
Obviously, I'm McLean fan. I do love George, gorgeous George, but I do love a bit of McLean.
Chris, you've just said Evans for Cannon. No, not for me. It'd be Evans for McLean, and then McLean back on the left for Mendy. I think that's how it'll go.
Ben Parker, which team will come out in the second half? The aggressive last part of the half team, or the confused first part of the half team? Hoping for the aggressive second part of the first half, I think.
100%.
I'm feeling confident that I'm going to win the prediction.
Well, look, we'll wait and
today.
see. Look, either of us win it, I'm happy with that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as long
100%.
as we, definitely.
I've always said if we win all of our remaining home games without worrying about the away games, then we get promoted. Any points that we pick up away from home,
makes it easier.
For me, just makes it easier and allows us that the opportunity.
Did Alfie just put you off
it did a little bit, and it gives us the opportunity to perhaps drop 1 or 2 points when we got difficult games. So.
Oh, Evie H is saying, "Shout me out." Hi, Evie.
Hello, Evie. Hello.
Chaz has said, "Evie."
Right, we're going to leave it there. We're 1-1. We'll be back at full time to have a chat with everybody.
Hopefully with big smiles on our faces.
Yes, so please join us again at full time. And I might be a little bit drunker than I am now. So, yeah, look forward to it. I'll see you later on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.